Howdy everybody, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Luke, I'm with Reata Horsemanship. Today we've got something really spectacular that we're going to share with everybody. As anybody who owns a horse knows, every horse has a problem. Every horse has either one problem or many problems, and it's just a matter of time before those problems show themselves. So what we're offering today is 8 free spots to a problem-solving clinic that we're going to be running in the next few weeks. We're actually going to do 2 clinics, one on one weekend and one on another weekend, and we're going to take 4 horses from start to finish through those clinics. So 4 horses on the first clinic, 4 horses on the second clinic, and those owners plus 2 people with them are able to attend that clinic for free. And what we're going to do is address specific problems that your horses have. Let me tell you just a quick story about me. I grew up in southwestern Colorado on a sheep ranch, sheep and cattle ranch, and I rode horses every chance I could get from the time I could walk. Well, when I was about 7 years old, a little colt was born on our ranch, and we named him Invierno. Invierno in Spanish means winter, and so he was born in the winter, and actually the tips of his ears were frozen off, so he had little divots in the top of his ears, and his name was Invierno. Well, I fell in love with that horse from the very beginning. Growing up, one of my favorite movies that I watched was The Man from Snowy River, and in that movie, Jim Craig trains this wild stallion. He trains him in a round pen, and so that little clip in The Man from Snowy River of him training that horse was all I had to go off of. And I took Invierno when I was 9 years old in a corral with deep manure, old barbed wire fence, and a tree right in the middle, and started training him. And I trained him well enough to be able to get on him, and I actually had him tied to the tree and got on him at one point after a month or 2 of training him. I was 9 years old. My dad is one of the toughest men I know, and he's an old school cowboy, and he was always gentle with horses, but he also took a lot of risks. And what we did was I got on Invierno, he got on his horse, and he led me out of that corral. Before I actually taught Invierno how to stop, he led me out of the corral. And we went down the hill and went on a ride. It was snowy, it was winter time. And as we turned around and were coming back to the corral, probably a half a mile away, Invierno spooked. And he just bolted right past my dad and jerked the lead rope right out of his hands. He ran off with me. Now, this is literally the most frightening experience of my life, as I was on top of a runaway freight train. My horse, Invierno, who was 2.5 years old. He ran up through the trees. There was a foot of snow he was plowing through, and he ducked under a tree, knocked me off, and as I fell off, my foot got caught in the stirrup, and he started to drag me. Visions of my life ending quickly engulfed my mind, and I thought my life was over. Well, for some, through luck or through a blessing or what have you, my foot fell out of the stirrup and I lay still in the snow. At that point, I realized that I had a major problem with Invierno. He didn't know how to stop. And just like many of you, you may have a horse that doesn't know how to stop, or will buck, or will kick, or will bite, or walks off when you try to get on him, or walks off when you're sitting on him and you're not asking him to, won't stand still, tries to run back to the barn, or he tries to run back to his friends. And doesn't want to listen to you. There's horses that won't get in a trailer or won't get off the trailer, or they're real nervous inside the trailer, or they'll just jig when they're tied up. There's so many problems, I could list hundreds of them right now, but I'll spare you that. Every one of you listening right now has a problem with your horse. There's something that you don't like about your horse, or something that makes you afraid of your horse. You love your horse just like I loved Invierno, but he was always a risk of running off, and I was the only one that could ride him. Nobody else could. That's unfortunate because he was an incredible horse. Many people could have ridden him and enjoyed what he had to offer. So I understand from your point of view what you guys feel like when you have a horse and you have a situation that you can't control. Well, that horse, and you need a professional trainer. You need somebody who's experienced what you've experienced, gone through what you've gone through, and learned how to fix those behavioral problems. That's what I do. I fix behavioral problems in horses, and I help you and your horse have a better relationship. So if you guys want a free spot to the Problem Solving Clinic by Luke Brown at Reata Horsemanship, make sure you click above, click on the survey, fill it out, tell us what you need, and we're going to help you out. We look forward to hearing from you guys. Talk to you soon.